And welcome to the Eiffel Diaries. Today we are going to be implementing the send function in the runtime of the VM. I've made a start at it, so we're getting somewhere already. And I've got down to yes. Okay, so one thing that changed recently is the return type for this function. So when we send a message, we get in Go we return an exit code, which could be an error in Go because exit code implements string. I think is the only interface that you really need to implement for something to be an error. But yeah, so the difference is that if an error occurs, like a fatal error occurs in JS, then it'll be thrown. If a non-fatal error occurs, then we can return this exit code here. That's cool. And we return a return value in Go. This is it's a parameter passed to the function that you fill in, I guess, rather than returning something. So that just means that's just a memory allocation saving in Go. And we don't have that. So we just return R. So this changed a little bit because I was just returning R, but it can also return undefined in the case where, for example, here we go. So we've got this internal send function that gets called. If the exit code wasn't okay, then obviously we don't have a return value to return, so we just return code and undefined here. So that satisfies that. So this recently changed to or undefined. And I spent a whole bunch of time kind of trying to figure out like the best way of, because I guess what I could do is have two classes for the return value. One where the exit code is 1. Sorry, is it 0 is okay, I think. Yeah, 0 is okay. Pretty sure 0 is okay. Where is this code? There we go. Yeah, 0 is okay. Yeah, so I kind of wanted a type where if the exit code was not 0, then there's no return value, and if the exit code is 1, or sorry, if the exit code is 0, then there is a return value. And this ended up being really clunky. Well, I think maybe if I had two classes, I could do this because it would be one class or the other. Like it would be, let's do it up here. It would be like promise of like success or failure, and then in your code you'd have like send, no, just send. Yeah, and so if ret is instance of, or instance of failure, I guess, and then you'd be able to use ret dot return value perhaps. But like I think that would maybe work, but then I'd have to have two extra classes. And like I couldn't figure out a way for like there is exclude is a thing, so I could have like so what I was trying was something like this. So it would be or there, kind of exclude exit code 0. Okay, so when it so it would be either an array of just one item when the exit code is not 0, or an array of two items with definitely with a return value in the case that exit code is 0, except this would have to be like 0 or exit code dot OK. And I think I got the types working for that, as in that, you know, it was syntactically valid, but the problem was like in the code when I had like so this is the code and the value. Well, in the code, if I did like, if code is the same as, is like, it's not exit code.ok. If it's not okay, then, you know, like throw or return or whatever. But then when I got to here in the code, it wasn't smart enough to realize that value, because exit code is now like not like 1 or more. It wasn't smart enough to realize that value was not undefined. Oh, if that makes sense. So that was really dull. Yeah, so I decided to make it not that complicated, because I had to do whatever checks I was going to do here. Like I had to do like if value is not equal to null. I generally do, just to include null in these. So I still had to do that. So instead of having this complicated return value, I've just left it as kind of like it's going to be R or undefined, and it will be undefined when the exit code is not 0. Or if the method doesn't return any value. So like I guess that's fine. Yeah. So I could have like a success and a failure type, but yeah, I decided to just keep it like kind of raw like that. It's kind of fun. But if there's a better way of doing it, then, or if you feel strongly about that, then you should totally get in touch. Anyway, that's what I've gone with for now. And then yeah, so if allow internal is false, then we abort. We're not allowed to do sending. If params, so if there's some params that were passed to this, it could be anything. Yeah, I guess we could type this here, but actually it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because all I'm going to do is try and serialize them. And they don't have to carry an encode CBOR. Yeah, so what we do is when we're sending, we take the params and then we serialize them. If we've got an encode CBOR, then we'll use that. And then CBOR encode, that's the DAG CBOR codec. There we are. So we serialize the params and then call this internal send function. And this is basically the same signature, except the params are a buffer, and it returns a promise of. I guess this should be all undefined as well, but I'm yet to get here. So this is where I am, right? We've got the send. If the code is not okay, then return. That's fine. Then charge some gas. Then because we've got our return value and it returns it as an encoded return value, then we decode that, and then hold on a second. This doesn't seem right, because I actually want. Yes, so here we need to return the code and the coded value. I wonder why it wasn't giving me an error for that. Oh, because I think it's because this just gives me back an any. Okay, so yeah, it would be really nice if we could type this. It gives me back an any, so it was just, so it didn't catch the fact that I was returning not a tuple of the return code and the value. All right, fun times. So that's that. Okay, so then we're dropping down into this internal send function. Here we go. And yes, so I was creating a new message, and so I already had a type like a because you hadn't used this yet. I already had it. This was a let's just go back a second. Ooh, here's some history. It was just an interface. So now I'm just trying to implement this. Here we go, like from to, and then what else do we need? So in the Go code, what are we doing? We've got from to, we've got method value, parameters, and gas limit. So method, whoa, method value, params, and gas limit. Okay, so yes, public. These things are method. This is ABI dot. Oh, hang on. Method num. Yeah. Value is a value, and what is this? So at this point, I think this might be uint8 arrays, aren't they? Yes, because this is what we've. Oh no, this is a token amount, isn't it? Params are uint8 arrays. So where does the? Oh yeah, no, there's no return value because it's a message. Okay, so that's token amount. What is wrong here? Oh, it must call super. Okay. So public is read only params, and these are uint8 array, and this can be. I think this can be optional. Int. There we go. Gas limit. Public. Read only. Gas limit. Gas limit. So I guess this is optional as well. With a default of. I think this is going to have to be a big int, isn't it? Gas available is a big int. Yeah, okay. And in Go, that will be. So this is an int64, so that'll be 0 by default. So that's okay. Perfect. There we are. Cool. Super, and so active message. Oh, extend? Can't, yeah, okay, yeah. Let's just, I'm pretty sure, oh, yeah, it's not. There we go. Okay, yeah, I think I've talked about this before. This is weird ESLint rule that doesn't get picked up. Hopefully in newer TypeScripts this will be fixed. Okay, so export class message, but it doesn't. Yes, okay, so let's implement those things. Okay, caller receiver. Caller is from, right? Receiver return this to and value received. How does Go do this? Value is value. Okay, fine. Value received is return this dot value. Now I wonder if I wonder if these should be private, these from to and value. Let's leave it as it is for now. Yes, okay. All right, that's fine. So I skipped these tracing things. These are, I'm not going to add these in. I think we can add these in retrospectively because I just need to get this working. I don't need to deal with like tracing just yet, and I think we can. It'll be relatively easy to add them in afterwards. So I'm just skipping that bit for now. So here we go. State. Okay, so what? Value params. And gas limit is gas available. Okay, so we've got our message. State, that's a state tree. Okay, so one thing we don't have is state. I believe is just an interface right now. So I just need to define some of these these things that I'm using. Yeah, I have to think about that. So what am I looking for? Where am I? Oh, here we go. So snapshot just takes context. So nothing. Okay. So because we've got clear snapshot, I'm going to put this in a try finally. Clear snapshot. State.snapshot. This is probably going to be an async function, I guess. Let's have a look. What goes on in snapshot in Go? Snaps.add layer. What does add layer do? Use state snaps layer. Oh, okay. So these are just in memory things. So I should be able to just call these synchronously. Okay. So that's that bit. Okay. So I want to move these. This is where this stuff goes now. So we've got this finally here. That's great. But let's just put them in the state tree snapshot. It's just a function and it returns nothing. And then we've also got clear snapshot. Just a function that returns nothing. Okay, great. Let's get back down here. Snapshot, clear snapshot now are good. Subroot. Okay, so right, this is going to get interesting now. This.vm.send. Ooh. No, because it's private. It's private and it needs a send. So there's some things I need, so I don't know if I can do what's being done here because these are going to be private. So these are package private in Go, which means that this thing, this method in Go will be able to access a private property, but we're not going to be able to. We're not going to be able to, are we? What does it look like in Go? VM send returns a runtime, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Message receipt. Whoa. Yeah, I think we might have to assume that we'll get well, I guess what we could do is we could, like, this VM send could subclass runtime and add a getter for those properties. Couldn't it? And then it could pass. So what I'm not super happy about getting a whole runtime here, when we're only using like the number of actors that were created and the execution trace. State tree.revert. Okay, revert. We'll implement that as well. Oh, where was? Hang on. Let's close the others. Okay, snapshot. Revert. This is the easy thing. Void. That's good. Okay, so we can define send on VM. Let's do that. Where's VM? Transfer send. What do we need here? Nil? Okay. What will that be? So message parent runtime gas charge and start. I think that's for tracing, so we might let's leave that out for now. So message parent and gas charge. Okay. Yes, that's what I wanted. Message parent runtime and gas charge is optional. Gas charge. And runtime, I guess, doesn't need to be our concrete runtime. I think this can be hopefully this can be rt.run runtime. And what does this return? Let's have a look. Ret or send. Yeah, that's okay. And then the sub runtime. Okay. So okay. So ret. So we're not going to have this, but we need to try. What we'll do is we will yeah, I don't want that. I want throw new exit error. Oh, okay. Did that. Okay. What's going on? Right, yes. Okay. There we go. So here we go. Failed to reverse state tree after failed. Actually, I want to wrap this error. Exit. Maybe I will. I don't want to make assumptions like that so much. So this is just returning an error that will be fatal. So this is escalate, I think, makes it a fatal error. So we just want to throw this. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's just do not disturb. Okay. Fatal true. Yeah, so it escalates it and it makes it. Okay, that's fine. So what we need to do is just throw. What I'm going to do is I think, and that's only if. So when we catch here, so let's move that up there. And so, yeah, so if this fails, then what I need to do is do a state.revert. Okay, if it errors, then here we go. Call this error revert. I don't lose the. Ooh. Use the context here. So we're losing one of these stack traces if we do it this way. How does this look in Go? It's got another property which is the original error. Message, okay. So we kind of need like an error that has a reason, which is like a because we kind of want to throw this error because this is what was bad. Why don't we just for now throw this error with a new message, and then if we need to spelunk, then I guess okay, not sure. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna pause here and figure some things out.